Governor Makinde approves use of hijab for Muslim female students in your state. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. This was contained in a statement issued by the Governor's Special Assistant on Islamic Affairs, Abdulrasheed Abdulaziz, to mark the 2022 World Hijab Day. Wow. At least the hijab people, I said the hijab people, the Muslim people there, at least they are going to now they'll feel alright. They can now dress how they dress. But some people are still going to be kicking against it. Reason is because we cannot be doing this to ourselves. We can't be doing this to ourselves. We all know the kind of times we are in right now. I'm not against anyone. I'm not against. In fact, I'm like, if let me use this popular quote. If you go to Rome, you behave like Romans. If you go to Nigeria, you behave like Nigerians. If you go to South Africa, you have to behave in a certain way they would want you to behave. Especially when you are not in your mother or fatherland. So that to avoid problems, to stay in peace with people, you just have to mingle with their way of doing things. But I also think that in all the issues plaguing Nigeria right now, except they want to tell me that these people now, there's so much injustice being done to them. Okay, I can remember reading last year, I think, was it last year, late last year? I think it was late last year, where certain Muslim students have forgotten the school, if it is not your state university. I can't really say, but that particular student was sent out of a class and they make the whole noise about it and all. As at then, that particular school, I was like, no, let's be frank. Before you applied for that particular school, you knew. It's simple. Life is simple. Life is very simple. Before you apply for that school, you're a student, right? You know that this is the law. Let's say maybe in a department, they have said it too, that this is what you'll be wearing. What does that tell you? You follow the law. So far, it is not saying you should be naked. So far, it's not saying you should be covering all your head and make you feel uncomfortable. Right? Yeah. We should follow. That is what I feel. Should be followed. Except, like I said, it is going to be making you go against your, let me say, big time, your own principles and values. It is going to be permitting you to do something that you're not comfortable with. I was of that school of thought, right? So I think that particular student was sent out of school and I was like, okay. She was wearing a hijab and before you know it, the Muslim or Islamic, students in that school, they attracted a lot of attention. And, even this particular group, Muri, came out and said there is so much of how am I going to say it? So much. Did they say? I'm trying to find the word right now. I'm trying so hard to find out what they called it. So that they're not comfortable and people are just tolerating them. It's not like, so he said a lot of things. I'm like, the school have their own authorities. And I want to believe that you going to school, for instance, you're going there to school, you should know that this and this and this is a school authority. Just like, let's say, for instance, I'm just saying, for instance, so you go to a particular school and they say you should cover, you should not wear sleeveless arm. There are some schools where you're not even permitted to wear sleeveless. See all the sleeveless tops and crop top. You're not permitted. They have told you. So your own is, if you're coming to the school, you're going to be prepared to go back to your house, or you're going to be prepared to wear a jacket. That is just it. Now this one is just a scenario. So I expect if you're going to the school and you just abide it. After all, the school is not, you're not going to live there forever. It's just for a period of time and you leave. So that particular incident, I think a lot of people came out and they're like, these people say, people were of the opinion that, hijab, wearing hijab, there's some are saying we are living in times where, security is no longer, nobody is safe. That these things might happen and that thing might happen, somebody like, are they going to now be saying this? What about this? What about a lot of back and forth? But me, I had my own school of thought. If you go to a particular place, you're not going to stay there all your life. You just give them, like you go to a boarding school, they have time for sleeping, they have time for waking, they have time for reading, they have time for fetching water. Your body will have to adapt to it, right? You will not go and say you are sick. If you are sick, your parents are definitely going to pull you out of that boarding school, right? And put you in a day school, right? So what I'm saying is, in the midst of it all, I feel that's what we feel. I feel this should happen, But it's actually a good thing that actually it is now a law, but they still have to watch it. They have to watch it. They do have to watch it. They now have to, if they have not been putting eyes on the ground, they have to be putting eyes on the ground. Let's say, for instance, before now, schools in the community, let's say tertiary institution, you can just, go, oh, you're a student of the school, you walk past and you walk in. But now, they will now have to start checking, which I think so. I'm just saying, let's say, for instance, everybody have been dressing very simply, and if you look at the person, you can say, this person is not wearing anything. Look at their bag and pass. This time, you now start checking. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, there's no problem for that part, for schools in your state. I don't think it should be a problem for them. It is good on their side, but security side, some people will actually still be kicking against it. Okay. Hijab is a covering which not only beautifies the wearer but also helps in advancing decency in the society. Nan quoted him as saying, the governor congratulated the Muslim Ummah in the state, especially the female adherents, and pledged his administration would not oppose activities and practices that will promote godliness and modesty. Muslim students who wish to wear hijab in public schools in Oyo State have not been denied the right to do so. I have instructed those in position of authority in the state public service and across our public school not to intimidate or harass anyone because of their religious beliefs or practices. Our government is God-fearing and will continue to preach religious tolerance, equality and justice, which will further engender peaceful coexistence, love, and togetherness. Okay. This is a good one. Freedom of religion. Engineer Makinde does not discriminate. I hope other governors can learn from him. Like I said, it's going to be, yes, looking at it from this angle, but Oyo State is quite quiet, right? It's quite quiet. Okay. Since election is at hand, we'll begin to see all sorts of unnecessary compromising. Is hijab part of uniforms? Let it be for only Muslim schools so as not to put the lives of innocent students in danger. Exactly what I'm saying. It's so unfortunate that all Nigerian governments allow disasters to happen first before finding solutions. So much bloodletting because of religion. With time, Nigerians will overcome this. Okay. On this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.